when I say that I believe that hadith has been preserved, and
Yeah.
the Quran has been preserved,
Yeah.
I believe that because that's in the Quran, but I just don't do that out of pure faith. I also have this argument.
Can you show me? Do you have an
Okay.
ayah in the Quran?
No, sorry.
That the hadith is preserved.
Wait, let me finish, please.
This one
He's right though.
Yeah,
the
the
Quran.
dhikr. I
He's
just
right.
told you.
Not
just
about
told
not
you.
in the
I just
not in the
told you.
Quran
No, I'm Muslim.
about the hadith.
Yeah, but I just told you. The dhikr. What's it? Just the Quran.
The Quran has been preserved.
Wait,
Okay,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying that the hadith is preserved?
Yeah, wait 1 second. I'll go to that and we can
Show me any
I
hadith.
think-
I'm listening to you. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
so what I'm saying is, I believe that Big has been preserved because Allah has preserved it, right? Now, if I come to you and you're not Muslim, you're not going to believe that Allah has preserved the Quran. Then I have to show you something different from that. Then you have this oral transmission which makes complete sense.
Makes complete sense.
Yeah. Now
So-
maybe to you not, but what do you have on the other hand?
It makes no sense to the entire Western world.
Yeah, that's why they are not Muslims.
No, it's not that. It's that there's since ancient Greece,
they are Christians.
we followed a particular intellectual approach. You do not, and one of the fruits of that intellectual approach is you cannot rely on an oral tradition that spans centuries. You just can't.
So you rely
Every
on
traditional
writings.
society
You
does.
rely on writings
Yes.
that you don't know who wrote, and you don't know if they are biased, altered, or anything like that.
Listen,
that's much worse.
no,
That's what
wait
I'm
a
saying.
minute. Firstly, it's not worse, it's far better. But secondly, it is not to deny what you've said, the possibility of bias, there's possibility of forgery, possibility of not knowing who the author is. All these things, that's within the Western intellectual tradition. You examine these things, but you don't get anywhere by relying on a pre-modern, primitive society which uses oral tradition allegedly spanning centuries. It just doesn't work. You have to start with documents. That doesn't mean documents are perfect. And I use a documentary argument with non-Catholics, but from a Catholic perspective, we have the church, which is inspired by God to guarantee the truth of something. In Islam, even if I were to allow the hadith approach that you take, it still wouldn't be sufficient because the hadith are collected by fallible men. Bukhari, Tirmidhi, Muslim, these were not inspired by Allah, they were not prophets themselves. Therefore, they're collecting. The science of hadith is a science of men, and it can therefore be wrong.
Okay.
The companions could be wrong because they were not prophets.
But I can say
So that means that, well, in Catholicism, you can't say this because we say the apostles are inspired by God, the Catholic Church is inspired by God, and therefore, whether you believe it or not, the whole system is a closed, locked, perfect system. But the system of Islam is not. It's full of the intellectual abilities of men, which are all fallible. Outside of Muhammad, I'm not talking about Muhammad, he's the prophet. He can speak perfectly.
Right,
that I'm not doubting is part of your system.
Shall I
But
say-
when your
tell you
system
some
has
ayat
men
in the
who
Quran?
form part of the religion, then there's a
Wait a second,
problem.
we can talk.